the 4 keys. We have a live coaching session, and this is our week 4 for the magnetic alignments or of manifesting a new reality. So just to reiterate, like we have the 4 keys of manifestation: clarity, clearing, subconscious reprogramming, and aligned action. So we're going to do all 4 today, because all 4 are important. So clarity is being clear on what you want. Clearing is using magnetic recode and other modalities to clear what gets in the way. And subconscious reprogramming is using your subconscious mind to work for you rather than against you. And aligned action is taking aligned action. So we need a pen and a paper today for people that want to join this recording. It's going to be uploaded later. Get a pen and a paper and a planner, because that's going to be part of the process. So I was just talking to Love and Mom Teresa, and they were able to tell me about their breakthroughs when they started the this process. From Mom Teresa, she's more confident in facing people right now, and then she also noticed that she has more clarity on what she needs to work on. And with Love, she's starting to enter the creative phase, and she's acting more now, so not no longer procrastinating. So with magnetic recode, which is a powerful tool to clear what gets in the way, you will notice that the more you do it, you're just going to act naturally towards your goal. Like it's like gonna clear like the stumbling blocks. So now we're gonna start with the first key, which is clarity. So every time we have to really be clear on what we want and where we are in relation to what we want. So Love, what is your goal for this week? It's related to your overall goal.
Yeah, for this week, I'm going to start a chapter. Actually, I have a couple of goals, and but to start a chapter of the book I'm writing, and then another one is to uh, shoot my YouTube first YouTube content in first shoot my first YouTube content and create more reels about relationships that will be posted in all my social media platforms. So that's my goal for the week.
Yeah. So Love's overall goal is to our relationship coach, and she's been working on that one. How about you, Mom Teresa? What's your overall goal for this week?
Okay. Um, for this week, my goal is to update my FB page for real estate, and then I will also be consistently posting reels or posts in more on Facebook, but I want also to develop my TikTok account, and then to consistently invite people to be my real estate agents, around 5 people per day.
That's
Yeah,
good. Oh,
yeah.
so Mom Grace has joined us.
Mm.
So we have another participant. So that is your goal for this week. And so your overall goal is to become like you said you wanted to be a lead magnet for real estate
Yes.
brokers in
Mm.
Cebu, or is it Cebu or the Philippines?
I'll start with Cebu, and then I have many friends all over the Philippines, and my sisters are in Australia, so I will also be tapping them.
Okay. So how about you, Mom Grace? You just joined us. What's your goal for this week? And if you can't, okay, Mom Grace, are you able to join us? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. What's your goal for this week? And what is your goal for this session?
My goal is to I have pending clients to process, and I am really into procrastination. So I really have, my goal would be to do the things that I have not been with during when I was so ill. So most probably I can manage to do it this week.
Oh, okay. So, so your overall goal is, what is your overall goal? Why are you doing the things that you're doing right now? What is your like end vision, your end image, your end result?
How to do that?
Um,
My vision is to finish everything that is left behind.
but what is your overall mission, vision? Remember you told me you wanted to be leading.
MDRT.
Yeah, you wanted to be
And
the leading performer in your company.
yeah, to be a $1 million round table member and Makole. It's the highest award for Sun Life for this year, 2023. So most probably, yes, I'm doing it, working on it, uh, double time.
Okay, so actually, with magnetic recode, everything will just flow easily, and we're gonna do this in a little while. So if anyone, people can mute themselves for a bit because okay. So the next key is clearing. So clearing what gets in the way. So a lot of people here are stuck, like especially Mom Grace. You said you're procrastinating. Um, you're not really like acting in alignment with your goals. So magnetic recode is actually discovered by uh, Gary Flint. The process was developed by Gary Flint and then Colette Stryker. So they were psychotherapists. And what happened was they realized that we have three levels of mind, which is the conscious mind, what you're aware of right now, and the subconscious mind, which controls everything. Subconscious mind controls our breathing, circulation, all of our programs from childhood, all of our memories, even sometimes um, memories from the past generations as well. They're stored in the subconscious mind. The thing about subconscious mind, a lot of people have the subconscious mind is not working for them, it's working against them, because unfortunately there's programs, especially from families, right, that's been added in that doesn't serve people. um, Especially like we were talking about it last week with Mom Teresa, with generations from the past were saying like, oh, you have to work hard, work hard, work hard. So yes, it works in their generation, in our grandparents generation, because they were farmers, so they tilled the land, or they were fishermen. So definitely working hard meant prosperity. But in this day and age, we have developed into like, you have to work hard as well as work smart, but you have to really work smart, because even if you work hard, you do the manual labor, like you really like work yourself to death, right? So and you get sick because you're overworking yourself, you're over anxious, stressed out. So that is, so the belief from our ancestors before, that you have to work hard, doesn't really translate to this generation anymore, because you have to also work smarter. Working hard doesn't really translate to more prosperity anymore. As you've seen, we have manual laborers, we have people that are just doing the same like manual work, manual labor, but their salary is so low, their wages are so low, because this generation, unfortunately, they fortunately or unfortunately, it's just change. They value more uh your knowledge, they value more your other skills, not necessarily just your manual labor, or the work that you do manually. So working hard, it doesn't translate anymore to prosperity, not like before. So we definitely, so our subconscious mind stores that information, and that's what, unfortunately, a lot of us work with, that like mindset. So, and then there's the other memory that we have, or other level of our mind, which is the superconscious. So the superconscious actually is the one that can see everything. Everybody has a superconscious mind. It's the higher level of mind, our higher self. It's actually connected to, the divine. It's connected to the field, infinite field of possibilities, and it sees everything. But the thing is, we don't usually use it, because some people use it like accidentally through prayer. When you use prayer, sometimes there's like a miracle that happens. But so Colette Stryker realized, and then Gary Flint, they realized like, oh, there's a part of our mind that can actually see everything and can see why we get stuck. And it's connected to 7 generations before us. And then it just sees the patterns. And the thing is, information can be passed on. If you read Bruce Lipton's work, there's a lot of YouTube videos there. They actually realized that information can be passed on from the next generation, and then the next generation, and the next. So if you consider DNA is actually, cellular memory. It's like remembers the information from the previous generation. And sometimes the patterns of behavior are also passed on to the kids, because I remember a family, and this is real. So the mom and the dad, so the dad was like abusing the mom physically. So their behave the children, the four kids grew up with that, like with that programming. And then they all of their relationships are in some way abusive, because they realize, oh, this is the normal. This was my mom's normal, maybe that was grandmom's normal, that to be in an abusive and like toxic relationship. So the kids, like, unfortunately, their subconscious mind absorbed it. And then so they grew up, all four of them grew up to some degree with abusive and dysfunctional relationships. So that's the importance of, like, sometimes what you do right now can have an impact on the future generations, and on your, like, what you call that, your ancestors as well. So remember, there's people that have like alcoholism or addictive personalities. So maybe the dad was the alcoholic, grandfather alcoholic, and then the kids are also like alcoholics or addicts and stuff. So it can be passed on. So what we're gonna do right now is, we're gonna, using magnetic free code, is we're gonna remove family entanglements. So what it means is that whatever the information that was passed down from our ancestors that no longer serve us, like, maybe toxic relationships, maybe being poor, poverty, generations, there's generational wealth, right? Like, people have like good programming, and they grow up, and then they're rich because that was their programming. And what you call that, but with us, it's very typical, especially for the working class or people that are poor as well. They have that poverty mindset, like, oh, I have to work hard, or I don't deserve to be rich. It gets passed on from generation to generation. So that's why you see grandma was poor, the mom was poor, the children are poor, grandchildren are poor, because sometimes that like mindset and that information and that like the experiences and like the beliefs get transferred from generation to generation to generation. But if it's a positive one, you see generational wealth, right? So great grandpa was, and I see that in the US as well, like, great grandpa was a wealthy merchant, and the kids, a grandpa, and then, mom, and then the grandkids, and then the great grandkids, they have generational wealth as well. But you see that in the Vanderbilts, they used to be considered like billionaires, but so only like 1 or 2 generations were wealthy, but then they actually like went back to the poverty mindset, and right now they're like not as rich anymore. So you notice that patterns of behavior and beliefs can be passed on. So whatever your goal right now, whatever it is, what is it? So just ask yourself right now, what is it that you want to create right now? So write it down. What is it that you want to create? And what is stopping you right now? What is stopping you? What do you think is stopping you from creating what you want? So write it down. Okay. And we need a volunteer to just one person for now. So we'll be clearing these. Who wants to volunteer? Mom Grace, do you want to volunteer?
Is it okay to say I want to create a goal?
No, your goal. What is your goal? You said you wanted to create wealth, right? You wanted to be in the $1 million. Okay,
Yes.
so that's your end goal. What do you think is stopping you right now?
Stopping me is fear, frustrations. It might not work. The idea I'm planning, hesitation.
Okay, so if you look back, like your grandparents, or your parents, what was their relationship with money, right? Like,
You have to work hard. That money is hard. That money is that we are poor. We really have to work hard to earn and to be able to eat, to be able to buy the things that we want. It's the hard earned money, something like that.
so you guys, Mom Teresa and Love, you could also write down what was your parents' relationship with money, and what was your grandparents' relationship with money. And if you have the course, it actually is in there as well, the Dreams to Reality. So we have the workbook there for the clarity. I actually included there the family history, because it's really important because it gets passed on actually. So what may be true to our grandparents and our parents may not be true necessarily right now, because people want people with education now, right? Not necessarily manual work. They want people with skills, like highly specialized skills. So you have to go to school now, And if you notice, the people that get paid higher are the people with like knowledge and skills. So it's actually right now is whatever you know right now is what's going to serve you, like the level of quality of and what kind of things that you have knowledge of, that's going to pay you more. The people, in cybersecurity, they have like specialized skills, so they're going to get paid more. Or especially like doctors, especially the ones with the highly specialized, like the knowledge and the experience, so they're going to get paid more than the people that are I haven't really gotten the education. So if you've noticed, we're shifting into, we're not necessarily working hard, but working smarter.
Yeah,
And
because when you that's the if I remember with Sir Jason before, you have to work smart, but the mentality of our oldies, the mentality of, if I may speak, the mentality of my, let us say, I have a cousin who is older than me, who would say, if you are going to say or to be more positive or to be, it's like when life is hard, you would always say na, God is good, everything will be okay, and then he would he would directly say to you in your face, hambugera,
So they're
something like
shaming.
that. Yeah, so hambugera, do not talk like that because that is something that is not good. It's something like that. Although, yeah, you want to be more you want to be, let us say, on a low profile, and you don't want to say anything because you don't want to let him know that you are doing something that is, for them, it's like you are weird, something like that.
Okay, so can you see now how it's gonna affect you? So the judgment from others, especially family members as well, that affects you as well, because so we're gonna clear that. So we can ask another volunteer who wants to volunteer, Mom Teresa, or you want to volunteer? No, I don't think she's ready yet. How about you, Love? Do you want to volunteer? So the question is, what was your grandparents' relationship with money like? Your grandparents.
Um, my grandparents, they were kind of all right. I'm not, um, I didn't really see quite much, what you call this, resistance of money in my grandparents, but it was really very, the most influential people um, were my parents because they always quarreled about money because
Ah,
my mom, they had opposite personalities. My father is very stingy, and my mom is like, she's very, um, what you call that, gastador. I don't know how you say that in English, but
spend
she's,
a spender.
yeah, she's like a spender. Yeah, she's not really, I think because she grew up that because my grandparents, especially my grandfather, is
Uh-huh.
very hardworking. He's a farmer, so yeah, they had a farm. So there were lots of money then because of the harvest, and also she
Ah,
didn't really have much issue with money. So she wants to spend. She wants to spend. So money for her is like, it's just money. So what is money for? You can spend it. But my father, a very deep rooted, if he has money, he would say he doesn't have money. And I think he got it from he got it from his mom, from the paternal side, because I always hear Lola Onsyang before saying that she doesn't have money. So actually the issues of money is in the paternal side. That's very, very difficult or challenging for me. So yeah, growing up, that was my orientation. So it's like, um, maybe I'm experiencing financial hardships through the years, because like for me, like money is like so hard to be comfortable with money, because like there were so many quarrels around it, and then even if there is money, you say you don't have money. So what kind of relationship am I building around it? So because that was my orientation, but I've been aware about abundance and all, but that was the really challenging stuff I grew up with. So
oh yeah.
yeah.
So can you imagine if you're a little girl or a little boy and then your parents are quarreling over money? So I think most kids would grow up like, oh, money is not good. It causes my parents to argue. So therefore, I'm just gonna get rid of the money because money is not safe. Having money is not safe. Money equals argument. Because
Yeah.
and yeah, you can mute yourself, Love, because of the sound. Okay. So because to a 3-year old or a 4-year old, when you're just developing your personality, uh having money might be what might be equal to, oh, they're just going to argue, so there's no peace when I have money. Therefore, so when you grow up, can you imagine, like, I'm just going to get rid of money, or I'm not going to have money, because money equals, not having peace in the family. So money is not good, basically. To a 3 or 4 year old girl or boy, that makes total sense. Like, oh, so they're fighting over money. So it means like money is not safe. Having money is not safe. So can you see that this can have an impact on your future version of yourself? So we're gonna clear that as well. So write that in, love, anything relationship with money, relationship with success. So your parents' relationship with success, your grandparents' relationship with success, write it down, like whether good or bad, you know. And part of the process of clearing family entanglements is actually like what Love said, like her maternal grandparents were good. So you can also, during the superconscious process, we can also pass the good stuff onto you, because they were onto something, right? Because they had money. So same with me as well. My paternal grandparents were really loaded and stuff. So it's actually my maternal side that has like issues with money, you know and also there was fighting about money as well. So I also have this mindset like, oh, money is not safe, having money is scary, um so but not all of our relatives, our ancestors, had like negative relationships with money. Sometimes they were doing better than us, especially my paternal grandparents. Like I heard like our relatives from before, our great grandparents would burn money because they were like, oh, I have too much of this money. There was actually like, and I think this is very true, they actually burned money because they had so much money they didn't even know what to do with it. So that's crazy if you think about it. But yeah, I heard that a lot of times, like, oh yeah, our great grandmother or grandfather would burn money because they would just show like, oh, this is nothing, I can produce more. And then they have that mindset that they have an abundance of money. So part of the superconscious family entanglement clearing is we will clear the beliefs that gets passed on that no longer serves us, but we will accept the wisdom that they have, that they can pass on to us, because the superconscious is a field where it receives information from up to 7 generations or more. They're finding that actually it's more like, generations and generations can actually receive information. Like that's what the DNA is there for. DNA is actually information. It gets passed on from generation to generation to generation. So the wisdom and the beliefs can also be passed on to us, provided that we open into our superconscious, which is our higher self, which is access to the infinite field of possibilities. So, and part of the process of the superconscious is superconscious clearing is, so what it does essentially, so our goals are at the one end of the river, and then we are here, right? So when you have like a block, right, like that, like family entanglements, family beliefs that are negative, it's blocking you, you won't reach your goal because you're always going to get stuck. Especially what Mom Grace, you said, oh, you have to work hard. So, or it's shameful to have money, or like it's not good to brag about money. So see, that's a huge block. So you can't cross the river to your goal of being the millionaire, the $1 million like table, because there's a huge block. So what the superconscious recode does is it will determine like, oh, you know what, this is your block, maybe we can just adjust it or shift it a bit so that the water will flow. So what you'll notice is that you'll start moving in the direction of your goal. And as Love and Mom Teresa has they've done a lot of free codes already, at least 4 or 5 at this point, right? I think Mom Teresa has had more. So the thing is, it will clear the major stumbling block that's preventing you from moving forward. Like and not moving forward may mean self-sabotage, might mean what you call that, resistance in the form of procrastination, not acting, or not acting on your goal, or maybe just delaying stuff. So that can appear in many forms. So we're going to do the superconscious recode now. And another metaphor that we use is that the superconscious recode is like, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with soccer. So with soccer, so the goal is over there, right? So they kick the ball. So but what happens is that we have like self-limiting beliefs or experiences that can block the field from being like, because in a soccer field it has to be plain, right? So if there's like stuff that pops up from the ground, it's like it leaves like not really potholes, but it leaves like holes and stuff, or unevenness in the field. So you can't kick the ball straight because like you have so many like uneven paths. So what the superconscious recode does is that it sees like, oh, okay, we'll just like dust this part with like really lightly, gently, and we'll just level the playing field, and then so that the ball can pass that way. So and it will see the highest priority block so that you can have the most maximum benefit from it. So what we're going to do is, so we're just with that in mind, so keep in mind your parents, your grandparents, your relatives from at least 7 generations before you. So we're going to start the process right now. Okay, so you're going to close your eyes and you can just nod your head, but super conscious, can you allow me to access everybody's super conscious field for this recode? So you can nod your head if you're asked, if you're allowing, okay, and reconnect it back to the matrix of the universe. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And at the count of 5, you're going to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open your eyes. Okay. How did it feel? Can anyone volunteer how you felt? So some people are still going to be processing, and they're going to be processing for hours or days. Actually, I'm processing right now too. I can feel my crown chakra tingling. It's very powerful, actually. I felt that. I still feel it. I feel it at the back. So weirdly enough, when you say back, the back is it means the past. So it's clearing stuff from the past. So if you feel any like back like heaviness, or like mine is like pressure on the back, it's so weird, especially shoulders too, right? So because we always have like it's like our ancestors are putting their hands on our shoulders, so it seems like, oh, you have this burden to carry, but you release it with love. So I'm just going to ask you guys individually. So love, we'll start with love since you're at the top. What was your experience?
Actually, I was kind of in a trance. It was like half asleep, half awake mode. So I think it was kind of in a deeper level, but I felt like what you were saying, like about the back. It's really true. I feel so light, and there's this race of because my posture is my back is I slouch. Yeah, I slouch. So there's like this unconscious habit, but I think there's really an energy that puts me down. Like, when I eat, it's like I notice myself when I sit down, I slouch so much. So now when I like, there's a feeling of like my lungs and my upper is being raised, and when it is raised, like my throat, so it is the throat chakra, right? Like it's my throat is like it's also expanded. So there's something like there's a clear channel going on. So my back, physically, that's what's happening to me. My back is raised, my neck is like, and my head is like upper. So there's this like a kind of sense of alignment going on. So the confidence level also is being raised, and that's what I'm feeling now. It's like, yeah, I feel like I can do anything. Like the
Oh,
feeling of being unstoppable. Yeah, that's my feeling now.
that's so nice. Yeah. So how about you, Mom Grace? What did you receive any downloads from your ancestors? Like wisdom or information? What information did you get from your ancestors?
Actually, not much. I think I can do this, no, on my own.
Yeah, you can read it
I can do
again.
this on my own. But I'm a little bit tired, but yeah, a little bit tired. Okay, yeah, we come from we just came from the mountain, so doing the outreach. So I think a little bit tired, but it's like I feel emptiness. That's the only thing I remember. Okay, it's half awake, half sleepy. So yeah, it's more on emptiness and
Good.
n- not. The feeling is the burden is still there.
Yeah, I think
It's like
someone's still processing. I think it might be
mm,
you. Yeah.
mm,
You can do it again at a later time, but you will notice it's actually like clearing up. So because in especially in Asian, like especially Filipinos, we are like our family is everything, family is life, right? And sometimes not all of the information that we receive from our relatives and our ancestors, not all of them serve us. There's like the shaming, there's it's so it can be toxic at times, but what this process does is we're taking in the good and then we're releasing things that no longer serve us. So you will notice I noticed it was huge. I can still feel it. Someone's still processing. um it's really like I think we're processing for the entire country probably. Yeah. um yeah, so it's very strong. It's actually still like I can still feel it, so that's good. How about Mom Teresa, are you still there? I don't know if you're still there. Anyway, so you will notice that, and I actually felt the shift too while I was doing the process with you guys. It was just, it's still here like that. I'm still processing right now. It will take maybe a few hours and maybe even a few days, because can you imagine you're processing 7 generations before you from all ancestral lines, the masculine and the feminine, your mom and dad, your mom, their parents, your grandparents, all of those lines, and they extend as far back, and you're taking in the good and you're releasing what no longer serves you. So that's the purpose. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the third key, which is subconscious reprogramming. And just to reiterate, Mom Grace, there's 4 keys to manifestation: clarity, being clear on what you want; clearing, that's what we did. The superconscious magnetic recode is a powerful clearing tool. But it's not the only tool to clear. You can also do emotional clearing and stuff. And then there's subconscious reprogramming, because now we need to reprogram our subconscious mind to work for us rather than against us. And the fourth is aligned action. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about subconscious and how the subconscious mind works. So we took care of the superconscious, which takes care of everything. It's aligning things, but at the same time, our subconscious mind, it needs to be impressed upon. If you can get a book by Nevill Goddard, it's actually free on YouTube. It's 100 years old. It's Nevill Goddard. I'm gonna send the link. It's
yeah, please.
yeah, feeling is the secret. So the that book for me having read it again, like I read it a few years ago and I reread it, and I really, really, and I have like, I made a TikTok on it for the month of February. It explains passage by passage what it means. Basically, it is the best explanation of how the subconscious mind works. So the conscious and the subconscious mind, what do you call that? So apparently when we visualize, so Neville Goddard discovered like 100 years ago, and of course that's like he downloaded it from, you know, from the field, right? Basically what he said was that the subconscious mind is impersonal. What it means is that whatever you tell the subconscious mind, and if you tell it many times, you know, let's say you tell it like, yeah, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, I'm no good, I'm no good, it's gonna take it. So it's gonna like whatever you program into the subconscious mind, it's gonna take it. You know, remember your 3-year-old self? So with Love's case, the parents were always fighting about money. So subconscious mind always takes it. Oh, money's not good, money's like dangerous, it makes people fight, you know, it creates it doesn't create peace, you know. So what happens is subconscious mind takes it. Okay, money's dangerous, you're not gonna make money when you grow up, you know what I mean. So but you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind to work for you rather than against you. So of course there's affirmations that you can do, but the thing about the doing affirmations, it's on the conscious level. You know, you're telling your your subconscious mind like, oh, you know, you're abundant, you're abundant, you're abundant, but it's only at the conscious level. So you need, when you need lasting change, aside from involving the superconscious, of course, you also involve the subconscious mind because it controls everything. It controls your movement, it controls your breathing. It actually like, it's the system that makes you walk and run, you know, it controls everything. So you need to have your subconscious mind work for you rather than against you. And he discovered, Neville Goddard discovered that the subconscious mind can be impressed. So you can actually reprogram it with emotions and feelings. So aside from, you know, your regular visualization of your end result, so what you need to do is program your subconscious mind with your end result. Let's say, Mom Grace, you wanted to be at the $1 million table, right? So what is your end result? Let's say your end result is you receive the award, you're wearing a long gown, right? You're on the stage. Is that what you're visualizing? So let's say this is just an example, right? You're on the stage, you received your award, you're wearing like a gown. What color is the gown? At the same time, you focus on that end image. You also focus on how does it feel that you're on the stage. Maybe you're a little bit nervous but happy. Maybe you're very overwhelmed and you're crying. So focus on that end image with the emotion, because the subconscious mind works through emotions more, you know, feeling as if you're already there. So I did this, you know, a few times before. I always I envisioned myself like I was attending a seminar like for my hypnosis certification. So what I did was I envisioned myself like, you know, I was at the back of the class, and then I was drinking water, and then the hypnotist was like in front of me saying hi. So I kept on like visualizing that, but my feeling was I was already there, you know. That was what I felt like. There was no doubt that I was already there. And I kid you not, on my first day, the first few minutes before the class started, I was at the back of the seminar room, and I was drinking water like that. And the um, the hypnotist, the master hypnotist that certified me, he was saying like, "Hey, how are you doing?" So that's how the subconscious mind works. It will, like, whatever you program into it, the more you can involve your 5 senses, the more you can involve the visualization part. And when you add feelings and emotions, it will actually energize it more. So Neville Goddard also spoke about like doubt. So he said, like, when you have the emotion of doubt, the thing is, when you focus on the doubt, what happens is that it actually like erases the picture. So let's say this is your goal, and then you have doubt. So the doubt now comes in the front field, and then so that it supersedes that your vision. So he said, like, just train yourself to just focus on the end result, feeling as if you've already had the end result, and you can feel it, you can really feel it. And then when of course it's normal to have doubt. So when you have the doubt, so I suggest that you do this, like, oh, when we look at our reality, it's not showing it yet, right? And we start to get doubt. So what you do is, I'm not at my end result yet. So you tell yourself, you know what, I'm not at my end result yet, I'm still in the process of, I'm on my way there. Just remind yourself. So when you see that your reality is not showing your vision, just say, I'm not at my end result yet, So what it means is that you're not there yet, but you're on your way there. So when you see something that's like contradicting what your vision is, you just say, hey, I'm not there yet. So we're going to use the analogy of the and I have to remind myself too, because like as a Buddhist, we tend to focus on the external. So this is how it works out. I know you guys are familiar with movie, right? Movie theater. Are you familiar with the movie theater, Miss Grace? So there's the projection room right at the back. So think of that as our subconscious mind, and what's being displayed on the screen is actually our reality, right? So when you have a reality that doesn't match your vision for your life, you don't like look at the screen and like scratch the screen, right? Of the movie theater. Oh, like, I don't like that movie, and then you start scratching it, because that is only a projection of a cause that you created. So what it means is that, using the analogy of a projector room, when you don't like the movie that's being played, you can go to the projector room and tell the projector, hey, I don't want that movie, can we play something else? And therefore you don't focus on the external, because the external is just a projection. You focus on fixing or changing your mental film, the mental picture in your head. So once you tell the projector, hey, I want a new movie, I don't like that movie that's being played on the screen, and he will replace it with a film that you want. So, and then he will project that film onto the screen, so you are now have a new movie. So it just, whenever you don't like your external reality, there's something that, like, you know what, this is not the movie that I want to play. You go back, instead of trying to fix what's being projected on the screen, your reality, go back. So reprogram your subconscious mind with a new film. So that's where the visualization and the feeling as if you already had it, or you're already experiencing your end result. And then change the mental picture, change the film of your life. So I'm guilty of this as well. I keep like, so I see the result of my causes that I created, but I keep like scratching the end result. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. And so the thing is, if you keep focusing on the end result, you're going to get more of the end result that you don't want. Whereas you just realize, oh, okay, so that's not the movie I want to play. That's not the movie of my life that I want to play. I'm going to go back, reprogram my subconscious mind with a new movie, with a new film, so that it's going to project what I want. But because there's always the delay, the delay, there's always a delay. So even in a projector room, there's going to be a few seconds of delay. But in our everyday reality, so when you visualize right now, it might not show up right away. So there's going to be an object of like there's always going to be a delay in your projection. So just remember, if you don't want like your reality right now, you can change it. Don't change the external, change the internal. Go back to reprogramming your subconscious mind. And when you start to doubt, just say like, oh, or when you start to get impatient, like, oh, my external reality is not showing the picture yet. You just remember there's always the gestation period, there's always the delay. And also just continue to work on your visualization, feeling as if you're already in the end result. And I'm also guilty of this. So everybody is like, we forget, like we are the ones projecting the film, you know, but we don't like the film and we keep complaining. I don't like that. I don't like low quota, especially for me. Like, you know, my book sales, I'm like, I don't like my book sales. I hate it. And then I keep blaming the book sales, but then hey, you know what? I can change it. I'm going to put another mental picture so that it's going to project something, something different. So when you have doubt, just remember, if it's not showing up yet, there's always an object of delay. And then maybe it's either of two things. There's a delay or you're focusing on that you don't have it yet. And you're focusing on the doubt instead of focusing on creating that mental picture, right? Because the subconscious mind, it's like it's impersonal, meaning, you know, if you say to yourself, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, you know, it's going to say, okay, you're ugly. So therefore the people around you will say, oh, you're ugly, you know, because they're just gonna, because that's your belief, that's what you're projecting to other people. So you'll find people that say, yeah, you know what, you're ugly, you know. But if you say to yourself, like if you program it like I'm beautiful just the way I am, and then therefore you're projecting it onto people as well, that they're saying like, you know what, you're really pretty, you know. And that's really true because you know, sometimes we project our beliefs onto other people, you know. Like if we have insecurities, there's always going to be that person that will feel that insecurity and tell you like, yeah, you know what, you're like this and that. So therefore don't blame the people around you or the external circumstances why they're acting that way. It's because that's what you're projecting. That's the image that you're projecting, right? um and so therefore, just remember, if you don't like what's being projected out there, change the film, you know, focus on your subconscious mind, focus on reprogramming it with your end vision, your end result, your end image, and energize it with the emotion. So because if you have the emotion of doubt, like if you start doubting, so that's, let's say this is your mental picture, right, of your end result, and then you have doubt, so it's going to block your end image or end result. So therefore, instead of focusing on I don't have it yet, focus on, you know what, there's just a delay, it's going to come out soon, I'm in the process of, or that's not my end result yet. So just like mentally remind yourself, you know what, that's not my end result yet, and I'm going to work to just reprogram. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? So go back to the projector, you know, don't blame the film. Just tell the projector man, hey, you know, change the picture. And that happens, and that anything is possible. I don't know if you know Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey, he's a millionaire right now, right? Multi-millionaire. He was the host of like Miss Universe, so he's funny. He used to be homeless. He was a comedian that was homeless. So he said that he would sneak into like motel rooms, like, you know, he would like illegally, you know, so that he could take a shower because he was literally homeless. And but he maintained that vision for his life, even if his external reality was not showing what he wanted. He still kept on focusing not on the external, but he kept focusing on the internal. So he still visualized himself, even if it was impossible. And then now he's like, he has a talk show, you know, nobody knew him before. He was like, he had a talk show, he's a host. He's very successful now, but he used to be homeless, and he achieved his goal when he was like later in life, I think 40s or 50s. And if you guys know Samuel Jackson, so he's that actor, he's very popular. His acting career actually started when he was 40 years old, and now he's like in his 60s, and his movies are making billions. He was like no one knew him before. And Joe Vitale, so Joe Vitale too, he used to be homeless. I think he said he was homeless for 10 years. Can you imagine, homeless for 10 years? And he lived in a van, I think in Hawaii or something. He spoke about it in one of the courses that I took from him. And he said like he just focused on his end vision, his end result. He didn't care that he was like homeless. He didn't see that. He just saw it like, oh, that's just an after effect of the past beliefs that I had from before. He didn't have magnetic recode too, so he didn't clear for the so it took him a while, but because you guys have that magnetic recode, it's going to take you a fraction of time. So Joe Vitale, as you know, he has like, I don't know, 10 books or more. I think he has more. So he was homeless for 10 years, he said. And I think he's charging like $5,000 for a few hours with him. Like he was like plugging that a few years ago. Like he said, come to me, like come to my ranch and stuff and pay 5,000 and you can be coached and stuff. You are definitely, if that's what you want, you have the option of doing that as well. But since we have all these powerful tools, why don't we just use them? You had the magnetic recode. So check it out. Joe Vitale is also he actually uses the teachings of Nevill Goddard. And I think the best book to start with is Feeling is the Key. It's just, if you listen to the audiobook, I think it's just less than 40 minutes. It's free on Amazon and not Amazon, on YouTube. And then I think since it's already 100 years old, so I think you can download it for free, because anytime like a work of literature is a certain like 100 years old, you can like download it.
Sorry, Miss Jen, the name of the book?
Feeling is the secret, or Feeling is the key. I think Feeling is the secret, I think. Or and also it's Nevill Goddard. And I'll send you the link, because
Thank you.
it's free now, because it's over 100. I think it's 100 years old. So yeah, so start with that, and it will just, because aside from the magnetic free code, so of course it clears the major stumbling blocks, but you also always have to guide your subconscious mind, because when doubt sets in, and now you have to work on like, doubt sets in, so it blocks your mental your image again, so you have to like work on removing that and shifting your attention to what you want and desire. And I think even Sir John used this one. He used the it's called feelingization, feeling as if you already had the goal. Remember he said in his seminar, he said he wanted to go to Boracay, but he was so broke at that time. So what he did was he was drinking like a coconut, and then imagining that he was in Boracay, even if he couldn't afford it. And then he was working on it, and then eventually an opportunity presented itself that he actually was able to go there. Yeah. So as for you, Mom Grace, maybe just claim it right now. So maybe you can look at your gown, the gown that you're gonna wear, and the jewelry that you're gonna wear when you accept that award. Just claim it. Yeah. Change the picture, instead of like low quota. Oh, low quota, that's your mental picture right now. Change what you're projecting, change go to the projector room, change the image, and then just see you're smiling, because that resonates with you. So, and that actually works, actually. Preparing the field works, making space.
Prepare the field.
Yeah. So that's actually part of the law of assumption. Is actually that's what Nevill Goddard, that's what his major teaching is, law of assumption. Assume that you're already there, you know, because you're already there. It's all a matter of time, you know. So when you say like you want to go to Hawaii or something, or to Boracay or something, you know, it starts in the mind first. And then when you buy the ticket, right? And then you ride the plane. So it's like it all starts here. It starts with a thought, it starts with the intention. So yeah. So I think this is going to be powerful, and I think I'm going to expect like a lot of shifts from you guys. So look at the course, the 4 keys. There's actually like an action planner there, and I use the action planner. Maybe next week we'll do a course on the action planner. So part of the 4 keys is aligned action. That's the 4th key. So in the action planner, you're actually gonna plot out, you know, your milestones and your goals for the year, the month, the day, you know, the week, and then you're gonna compare yourself on a day-to-day basis, like how far am I in relation to my goal today, you know, compared to yesterday. And then for the week, how far am I in relation to my goal this week from last week, you know? So it's really good. You can download it. It's a downloadable. I don't know if Love has it. Do you have it, Love? Is that, yeah, that's the, yeah, so the action
I
planner.
printed.
Yeah, there's an action planner on the 4th key. I think that one is the workbook, right? I think that's the workbook. Yeah. So I suggest Mom Grace, you can download. Yeah, that's the workbook. So she has it. You have that, Mom Grace. So you download stuff. So the action planner is for the aligned action, because if you have a planner right now, so let's say you don't have the action planner yet, maybe next week someone will print out the action planner. Is that you, Love? You're gonna print out. So can you write down in your planner right now, what are you gonna do at the end of the week? Like, what's your goal for the end of the week? Next week. I mean, this coming week.
It's coming. Yeah.
So write it down, what your goal is and what you're gonna do. And it has to be in relation to your overall goal. Just because, you know, we want to focus on our major goal. Of course, we have minor goals and stuff, but yeah. And that's it. And I hope, I don't know what happened to Mom Teresa. Maybe she's still there, but you guys will get a recording. I'll upload parts of this on YouTube, but because you guys paid for it, you will get the full one. Like and I suggest you download it because in 6 months it may not be there anymore. So download it, transfer it to an external file, you know, so you have a copy. And Mom Grace, you can do I think you can start from the first week, you know, and just do the course, the Dreams to Reality course, because we need to start with clarity first. What is be clear on what you want, clear on what gets on the way, in the way. That's what we did, the magnetic recode, the family entanglement. And then there's subconscious reprogramming, reprogram your subconscious mind through visualization, you know, listening to audio track at night, you know, or maybe at night before you go to sleep, feel as if you're already at the end result. So that's actually what he did in his book. He said, before you go to sleep, feel as if you're already living the end result, and then you go to sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the 4th is aligned action. Get your planners, like really plot out your week. What are you doing that will lead you closer to your goal, and create milestones, you know. Okay, and that's it. And so for the people that are listening, I'm available on a podcast, Dreams to Reality, on Spreaker. I'm available on YouTube, and this will be uploaded to my Stand store, and everything will be provided, including the link to the Nevill Goddard book. Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
I'll see
thank
you
you,
next
thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Bye.